Charles Barkley once said that he is not a role model. He's just a basketball player, and that a role model should be someone who makes a difference in the world. A fireman, a teacher, a nurse, a policeman, your parents. My heroes are my parents. If you've ever had the pleasure of meeting them, they will soon throw a sarcastic joke at you, which is their way of telling you that they like you. And if they don't have a sarcastic barb, it's not a good sign. But why are my parents my heroes? Seems a bit odd even saying it. As we get older, you get to the point where you change your thinking that your parents are literally the stupidest people on the face of the planet, to people that you could probably use some advice from, to people that you work alongside with, to people that you help more and more because they're advancing in age. My parents are my heroes because they show love in action. They aren't big on emotions, but they're the best shoulders to cry on. They're not big in social circles, but they'll stick with you through thick and thin. They're not wealthy, but they're the most generous people I've ever met. In short, they are who heroes should be. Now, I can admire an entertainer or an athlete because of their skill, but are they heroes? We can be inspired by them, their sacrifices, hard work, and dedication to their craft, but at the end of the day, they're just entertainers and athletes. I'm not saying entertainers and athletes can't be heroes. I've heard stories about someone like Keanu Reeves, who practically gives all of his money away to people who need it, and he lives modestly. That's pretty admirable, and if you look to Keanu as a person to emulate, to be a person that worked hard to be so successful so that you could give to people in need, well, that's pretty heroic. Heroes or role models are important to us because they act in such a way that makes us want to be better people. True role models give us an example of how we desire to live, treat others, or generally improve at being a human being. That's why we feel happy when we see stories of people doing incredible acts of kindness, or hear about someone helping others in a self-sacrificial way. It's embedded in each of us, the desire to do good. And although we constantly have a war raging inside of us, battling to choose to act kind or self-sacrificial, we ultimately desire to do good. And that's why we have heroes and role models. We witness someone else doing it and we feel inspired, and we want to fight against those voices inside of us telling us to do harm or to do nothing at all. But wait, there's more. As men, we are biologically geared toward action, whether it's completing a task or that general feeling of restlessness when we feel idle. Men tend to always want to be doing something, even if it's nothing constructive. But we can use this to our advantage in becoming a role model. I know as I get older, I see some people actually look to me for advice or leadership or insight. And at first I was like, whoa. Let's pump the brakes. I still saw myself as someone who couldn't be possibly responsible for another person's reason to emulate me. It's like how comedian John Mulaney describes how he thought it was odd that a woman he met on the subway could perceive him as a threat in any way, because he admittedly states that he was still afraid of being kidnapped. He was 30 when he said this, by the way. But nowadays, more and more men are in a suspended state of adolescence, not only choosing childish behavior in certain areas of their lives, but also from a self-imposed view that they're not really actually adults. I believe this about myself. I still do, admittedly, from time to time. There's a cultural acceptance of your attitude that adulting is hard. Yeah, it's hard. And for men who refuse to grow up or take seriously the responsibilities for men their age, it's actually harder. Because men are natural doers. When we see men our age accomplish things that we would like to do, there's a depressive element to that. We find ourselves taking an inventory of our life, and maybe we think life has passed us by, or we missed our chance to make something out of ourselves or to be somebody. And we may just go back to the comfort and security of being childlike. Not that you can't have fun as an adult just like kids. It's important to play, whether it's your hobby, which I covered on this channel, or even teasing and joking with your friends like my parents do. Play is an important part of your life, and it should remain, but it shouldn't be your life goal. Nobody has ever been inspired who is just on their phone all day. And the people that inspire me are the people who work hard, who do self-sacrificial things for other people, because that's really admirable. You know, we all have those videos or on YouTube or something that we watch with people wiping out, and there's something, you know, funny about that, the schadenfreude of it all. I know I mispronounced that word, but it's kind of a fleeting kind of joy. You know, you saw someone kind of wipe out on their bike, you're like, that's funny, that's hilarious. And then you just want to go on to the next video of someone wiping out. But when you do self-sacrificial things for other people, it doesn't give you happiness, it gives you joy. And to see someone else happy because of something you did just kind of multiplies that. So if you're like me and you're getting to the age where people are starting to look to you for advice, it's probably a good idea to be competent in what you're doing. Well, that has really been all I've had to say. I just wanted to give a shout out to my parents and everything they do every day. They work hard, they love hard, and they know that the goal of life isn't to just chase after the next thing, but it's to enjoy the things that you do have and to make sure that other people can enjoy their life as well. All right, guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, do all the things that the other YouTubers tell you to do, but do so even more for me because, you know, this channel is kind of unique. I've looked on YouTube for a channel just for kind of young men to middle-aged men, trying to give them advice, trying to give them some sort of guidepost, because being a man in the 21st century, in America anyway, is rough. And I'm not here to complain, I'm not here to boo-hoo, but you know, the reality is that, and we've all seen the stats, you know, 78% of suicides are men, 82% of homeless population is men, 83% of violent crimes are done to men, you know, 99.8% of fatalities in war are men, 99% of fatalities at work are men. Men are working the hard work, outdoor, laborious, up in the air, down underneath the ground jobs that shorten your life. You know, to work hard, to struggle, to live paycheck to paycheck, to support people, and then be told that you're the problem. It's a bit deflating, but you know, I've decided, and I encourage all of you guys to just block out that noise, block out that bullcrap that people are telling you, and continue to work hard, continue to live a life that's worth emulating. And if you have areas in your life where you struggle growing up or taking the responsibilities that an adult male should, one of my first videos was about making friends with older people, or older men specifically, and the lessons they can teach you is incredible, because they've lived so much life, and they're able to share that with you, and they want to share it with you, and eventually you're going to get to the point where younger people are going to be coming to you because you've lived a full life, hopefully. So I guess I don't really have anything else to do. All right, well, it's a Saturday. It's still, you know, relatively early in the day, so I'm going to get something done, because that's what I do. All right, peace.